Welcome back, everybody. Monty, geometry, Shadle Park, week 10. Okay, we just got through with Veterans Week. Kind of a strange schedule. We got Wednesday off, only saw each other twice. November 16th to the 21st. We're going to really push forward on M1, T2, L2. This whole idea of quadrilaterals, four-sided objects, okay? Last week, we focused on conjectures and diagonals. This week, a whole another list of vocabulary words, okay? All about four-sided objects. But before we do that, we got to do our shout-outs for last week. So let's get started with our shout-outs for the week. First of all, let's do Mathia. And this week on Mathia, we have Alexis, Emma C, Maddie H, Colin M, Quinn M, and Noah Murphy. Thank you for doing extra work on Mathia this week. Now, Mathia really started to pile up, right? Those problems took a long time. Whew. We finally made it through all those equations and all the balancing of equations. This week, you're going to enjoy it more. We've got circles, we've got vocab, we get to draw a few things, so it'll be a little bit easier this week. So those were our Mathia shoutouts for period 4. In period 5, we have Kristen, Maya, Arthur, and Sarah. Thank you for doing the extra Mathia this week. And then we want to do the shout outs for all those of you that did extra homework, extra participation in class, ask great questions. Remember, the more you participate in class, the better off all of us are going to be. Because I need to know what you're thinking. What do you see when you talk about shapes and diagonals? I know what I think, but I need to know what you think. So, those of you that reached out and helped our class discussions, I want to thank Emma, Abby, Claire, Allie. You remember when Allie spoke up the other day and it just kind of like helped everybody make sense of the new vocabulary? Okay? And Maddie and Hunter. Hunter, special thanks to you helping with the door. And Jackson, our newest member. Thank you for coming, Jackson. And lastly, in period 5, we have Kristen, Hannah, Arthur, Matthew, and Sarah. Thank you for your extra participation during our class discussions and doing that extra math work. Okay? So, I'm going to see you in a second when we talk about these new vocabulary words for this week. Okay, thanks for sticking around. There's a chart here, and it discusses all these properties of four-sided objects, okay? And a couple of words that we haven't used a lot this year. Okay, the first of all, diagonals. When we draw the diagonals, what happens? Okay? Well, a couple of those vocabulary words, one of them is the word bisect. Okay? So this week we're going to focus on bisect. Okay? Bisect, cut in half. An example of cut in half is a square. Okay? When we draw the diagonal, these corner angles are cut in half. They are bisected. But that doesn't happen in all of the four-sided objects that we draw the diagonals with. They don't all get cut in half. So we're going to be making conjectures about whether they're cut in half, bisect. Consecutive. Consecutive means in order, okay? This angle is in consecutive with this angle. Consecutive, consecutive, okay? So you're going to see that vocab word. Are consecutive angles equal? Well, we love the square and the rectangle because the answer is yes, 90, 90. All right? So, next to, in order, supplementary. Supplementary means 180 degrees. Whoosh. From here to here, 180 degrees. Supplementary. Okay? So in the square and in the rectangle, those angles form 180 degrees. 90 and 90 makes 180. And we're going to talk about that. Okay? Complementary is 90 degrees. Okay, so two angles are complementary when they form a 90 degree. So 45 and 45. A rectangle, same idea, right? So complementary, 90 degrees. So lots of vocab this week, lots of concepts to think about. Plus, we want to spend the entire week thinking about all of these properties of quadrilaterals so that we can make sense of them when we compare them, so that we can finally begin to study angle measures. Okay? So we really focus on the parallelogram. Opposite angles are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. Still adds up to 360 degrees. Supplement, they add to 180, add to 180, add to 180, add to 180, so that we can actually do some math and calculate angle measures. I hope we have a great week, and I'll see you in class on Tuesday. Bye.